Hey, Divine Feminine. I know you can hear the stuffiness and all the congestion that I have right now, so I'm not going to do my usual greeting to you, but just know, like, when I can, I will. Okay? Okay. So I thought I'd start a new little series called Full of Faith Fridays. And this series is going to be more motivational in nature. Instead of using the cards, I'll use intuitive downloads and guidance to just talk to divine feminines about things that have been placed in my heart by God that I felt the need to share with you guys. So don't pay attention to my hair. I look and feel the best, but this is a rolling, not a stopwatch. Shit don't never stop. Okay, okay. And I apologize too if the sniffling is bothering you, but nothing I can do about it. So today it was kind of placed on me to talk to the divine feminine about faith, which is why this series is called Full of Faith Fridays. For the longest, I've been hearing the Little Wayne song in my head, Let It All Work Out. If you've never heard that song, I believe it's on the Carter 4 album. Don't quote me on that. But if you've never heard that song, Divine Feminine, I'm going to need you to go look up the lyrics, listen to the song, something. There were a couple of lyrics in the song that I did want to point out to you because it's what stood out to me. There's this one line where he says, God, take this that shit that give a flower color. I'm sorry, y'all. Mercury retrograde. But basically, like, all of these burdens that you felt like have been placed on you, it's going to make you go from black and white to full color, right? All of these things, there is a divine lesson in, and in that lesson, it may take a little bit out of you, but when I tell you God is going to restore you 100-fold, I play with you not, ma'am. There's another line that said, she said, relax, tune, baby, don't stress out. But I got a lot of shit on my mind, though. She said, let that shit work itself out. That's what you're being told by the divine right now, divine feminine, is, during your seasons of struggle, of battle, when you are in the deepest, darkest part of your dark night of the soul, let that shit work itself out, because eventually it always will. There's another line in the song where he says, but ain't nobody but ain't nobody else like you in this bitch. Facts, ma'am. There Nobody can do any of the things that divine feminine is capable of doing. And that's also the beauty in it too, because a lot of us have so many different special and unique gifts and talents to offer to the world. And sometimes because of the circumstances and the situations, you may feel like, is this really going to work out though? And God is saying, yeah, it absolutely will. I already showed you what was meant for you. Why are you not trusting it? I had this conversation with the divine the other day. And when I had this conversation, he reminded me of a dream that I had. This dream had to be like 3-4 years ago, maybe. And it was a dream. I don't even remember the whole dream, but when the divine really wants me to remember something, I'll remember like the most important snippet of it. And it was me coming into contact with my son's father, who I have not seen in years. And when I say years, I mean a whole hell of a lot of years, right? And that man know I don't like him. That man know I don't fuck with him. And when I saw him, he just acted all happy and excited to see me. He was trying to have conversation, and I was trying to keep it very minimal. And then I just remember in the dream where he asked me for money. Basically said something to the extent of, like, I know you got it and I kind of need it right now. So, can you help a brother out? And in that moment, it kind of clicked like, okay. There are definitely going to be people that need your help, divine feminine. And right now, the divine is saying, help you first. Help you first so that you can understand those visions and all of those things that you've been seeing in your dreams and all these intuitive downloads that you've been getting. And I feel like for a lot of my divine feminines, it's really hard to have faith and trust in that process because of the times that you've been tried, for lack of a better words, right? All of those times where all of the negative energy starts to get to you. You're feeling drained. You're feeling like, you don't want to do it anymore because, with great power comes great responsibility. We've all had those times where, or at least I know I have, I can only speak for myself, where, there's just so many things that I'm seeing about things going on around me and things going on in other people's lives. And I'm like, I don't want this gift anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. Like, it's too much of a burden to carry my problems and everybody fucking else's. But that was where I had the perspective wrong. Now, I don't like Beyonce. I'm not a Beyonce fan. Like, ugh, ugh. That's how I feel about B, right? But I came across a clip, and she was doing an interview, and I had to give it to her. It was actually very wise advice. She said that, whenever she goes through something, she takes one day, exactly one day, and she will just feel all of those emotions so she can kind of let them up and then release them. But it isn't a series of days. It isn't a week. It isn't a month where she's wallowing around. She says she gives herself one day. Are you giving yourself time to process some of the things that you've been through, or the things that make you sad, or the things that you were disappointed about on this journey? Because that's really what this journey is about, right? Learning to let go of certain energies and then transmute them so that they work in your favor. And that's how everything ends up working itself out. You having faith and you understanding, okay, this is what's being sent to me. This is what I'm currently experiencing. How do I process that so I can let it go and maintain my frequency of love and abundance and of healing others. Especially if you are empathic, divine feminine, this has probably been a struggle for you, more than a lot of other people. Especially if you're like myself, I don't really like to use titles, but I'm a Heyoka empath, and I could be standing next to somebody in a grocery store line and just if they going through something really, really heavy, like, I feel it. And I got a little annoyed, when, I think it was like earlier this week, because the energies, was it earlier this week? No, it was right before Labor Day. Like, Labor Day and the day before, like, the energies were heavy. I mean, heavy. And I had hella attitude. And I don't like myself being in that space anymore, right? I've taken enough time to heal, and I've done enough work to where I like being in this vibration because it feels so much better than this vibration down here. But sometimes, planetary alignments can fuck with you. You may just have a certain situation that presents itself. Like, it's okay to feel those things and to process those things, but the point is to transmute it. And you can never get to the point of being able to transmute it if you hold on to it for dear life. And I know a lot of divine feminines might think I'm crazy when I say this. You holding on to those energies is a form of self-sabotage. Why? Because subconsciously you're telling yourself, I can't feel anything other than what I'm feeling right now. And divine feminine, that absolutely positively is not the case, ma'am. It is not. What you're being asked to do during this journey, and it's going to be never ending. The healing is not a linear thing. You're not going to ever just like stop healing, stop growing, stop learning, stop expanding. It's never ending. But one of the things that you're really being asked to focus on right now is learning how to take time for yourself so that you learn how to process all of these things that you come to deal with on your journey. And, I understand that, how people choose to practice self-care looks different for everyone. For some, it may be having a spa day, and for some, it may be going on a walk in a park full of pretty flowers and butterflies everywhere. Like, it looks different for a lot of us divine feminines. But whatever it is, acknowledge it. Like, really take the time for yourself. No kids, no TV, no nothing. Just you and the divine having those conversations, and really understand the deeper lesson of what it is that you've been going through. And for a lot of my divine feminines, it is literally just learning to let go and let God. If you're anything like me, like, I'm not so bad now, but when I was younger, I was a control freak. Like, if plan A didn't work out, then I had like B through Z already ready. And sometimes that's nothing but wasted energy. Why? Because what if plan A works and I never needed any of the rest of the plans, but I still spent all that time and energy trying to formulate these scenarios that haven't even happened in my head yet. It's the little things like that, divine feminine, that God, your angels, your ancestors, your spirit guides are really trying to get you to see that a lot of situations you may have thought that people were attacking you and stealing your energy. No, it was you wasting your energy on unnecessary things like worrying and being stressed out. Like it was unnecessary. I bet if you sat right now and thought about a few things in your life that really stressed you out, and then think about how it worked out, and you're like, I did all that for nothing. I did all of that for nothing. And that's what the divine wants you to realize right now, especially if you're still in the energies from earlier in the week where it just felt heavy and you can't move past it. The divine is saying, if you had faith, then you know, I already told you it's all going to work out. All you have to do is let go, trust, believe, and rest. That's the most important part. Rest. Take time for yourself. Stop overworking yourself. Stop oversharing yourself, especially sorry, Mercury retrograde. Stop oversharing yourself, especially with people who do not deserve 0.002% of your energy, okay? That's where the draining is coming from. You giving out too much when instead you should be sitting back and receiving. That's what we mean by being in receptive mode, understanding that you don't always have to have some form of output for you to receive what it is that the divine promised you, already told you was yours, ma'am. At the end of the day, this whole journey is understanding the deeper lessons that are being provided to you. 11:33 on the clock as I say that. Understand the lessons that you are supposed to be learning on this journey. And when you understand the lesson, you're like, oh, okay, well, if I'm making all these plans and it was never the point for me to do all that, the point was for me to preserve my energy. That's the lesson. Learn to preserve your energy. Everything has a lesson. Let's say if you have a job and you absolutely positively hate it, but you still show up to work, you still come as your authentic self, and you still work your ass off. Ask yourself why you're doing that. Especially if it's a job that you already hate. It may not be paying you enough money, which, let's be honest, that's how most jobs are nowadays. Nobody really gets paid a livable wage, and even people who make six figures are still complaining that they're struggling as well. So all of this unnecessary energy, yeah, you can still show up, yeah, you can still do your job, but don't stop overworking yourself. Stop giving all of your energy to a company that don't give a shit about you at the end of the day. If you went and told them, hey, I don't have anything to eat tonight, do you think they're going to give you the same energy you've been giving them? Probably not. Probably not, ma'am. This journey it's difficult enough, but the divine is saying stop making it more difficult than it has to be, right? Like as I say that, I feel this heavy like resistance energy, like, you know, something is trying to come in for you, divine feminine, and it's almost like you're self-sabotaging and resisting it because it's not what you had in your mind would be happening at the time, right? And the divine is really trying to get you to understand that, you know, it's not about you, it's about him, his plan, his divine orchestration for how everything is supposed to work out. And when it finally does work out, divine feminine, they're saying you're going to be amazed. You will be absolutely amazed at how everything worked out. The question is, do you have faith that it will all work out? And if you don't, ask yourself why. Is it because subconsciously you've programmed your brain to believe, oh, I can't have better, I'll never do better, things will never get better? Ma'am, that's a form of self-sabotage. Ask yourself why you find it so difficult to hold yourself in a specific vibrational frequency that A, makes it easier for you to receive, and B, makes your life easier. You can do it the easy way, you can do it the hard way. And a lot of divine feminines, I can feel the energy of like you just being completely and utterly exhausted. You're just like, I don't understand. And the divine is saying, I don't understand why you don't understand. Because I already told you it's all going to work out. Why are you stressing? Why are you worried? What makes you do that? What makes you feel comfortable being even in that energy? I remember I used to have a friend when I was younger. And I don't care what happened in her life, like nothing stressed her out. And the older I got, the more I really start to envy her ability to do that. Her ability to see past the stumbling blocks, the setbacks, and really focus on the end goal. If you have some time this weekend, Divine Feminine, do something for you. Whether it be if you just go out in a park with a good book and read, or go to like a group meditation, just do something for you that helps you to relax, that helps you get more into the energy of receiving, so you're not so much in the energy of stressing and worrying and over planning and overdoing in general. Take that time for you and just really focus on yourself. Now, if you can't do it this weekend, find a day. Find a day. I feel like at this point in time, it's really necessary for divine feminines to really, I'm hearing, withhold your energy from any and everything that is not serving you at this time. Because when you do that, it all works out. I love your faces, divine feminine. I'm about to go take my ass right back to sleep because your girl's tired. I'll probably, I got another video that I hadn't posted, a tarot reading. I'll probably post that 15:55 when I look down. I'll post that video a little bit later, but until next time, my loves, adios.